Let's talk about the Night King. The big bad, the supernatural threat that loomed over Westeros from the very first episode. The embodiment of ancient death magic, ice, and silence. The one character that wasn't corrupted by politics or drama, just pure existential horror. For years, we were told this was the real war, not for the Iron Throne, but for survival. And who was behind that war? The Night King. Except when it was time to actually do something. He didn't even try. Let's go all the way back. Season 4 finale, the very first full appearance. The Night King touches a baby and turns it into a White Walker. No dialogue, just an icy stare and a haunting score. People were hooked. Then, in Season 5's Hard Home, we finally saw his power. He raises thousands of corpses with one lift of his arms. Not through a ritual, not with some spell, just boom. Army. That scene alone built more fear and credibility than most fantasy villains get in a lifetime. Then, in Season 6, The Door, we learn he created the White Walkers after the Children of the Forest stabbed a man with dragonglass. He kills the three-eyed raven and marks Bran, breaching magical protection. Suddenly, he's more than just a zombie overlord. He's intelligent, strategic, and utterly lethal. By Season 7, he kills Viserion with a javelin throw that would make the Olympics jealous, and then resurrects a freaking dragon. We watch in silence as undead Viserion blasts down the wall, the literal last defense between the realm and the dead. That was the moment we knew. This guy wasn't just coming, he was unstoppable, or so we thought, because then comes Season 8, the Battle of Winterfell, the Long Night. He arrives at Winterfell with everything, a zombie dragon, thousands of whites, undead giants, a horde so massive it covers the fields like black waves. The setup is flawless, the fear is real. And then, nothing. Let's break down how badly this was handled. First, the tactics. The Night King's army is endless, sure, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't use them smartly. Why send all your forces into a choke point when you can flank or surround? Why let your generals just stand around doing nothing? He has White Walker lieutenants. Why not have them lead the charge? Show us what they can do. Instead, they're glorified extras. Not one of them lifts a blade. Second, the pacing. He enters the battlefield at the very end, just to walk slowly through the Godswood, like he's in a cologne commercial. Bran is literally waiting for him under a tree, unprotected except by Theon and some twigs. The Night King doesn't command his dragon to finish Jon. He doesn't send the generals ahead. He doesn't do anything. You have the power to raise the dead instantly. You know your enemy is hiding in the crypts. You can command time and cold. And your big move is walking? Then there's the Bran moment. This was hyped for years. The Night King marked Bran. The three-eyed raven said Bran was the memory of the world. The Night King was hunting him for some deeper reason. You'd think this moment would be packed with lore, payoff, confrontation. Instead, the Night King approaches Bran, stares, lifts his sword, and gets stabbed from behind. No fight, no reaction, no line, just shatter. Arya kills him with a sneak attack. And look, Arya is awesome, but this wasn't her story. She had zero connection to the Night King. The prophecy build-up? Irrelevant. Jon Snow's rivalry? Tossed. The entire arc of Bran's abilities? Ignored. What about the magic? The spiral symbols? The idea that the Night King was a perversion of the natural order? Death with no rest. What about the Children of the Forest? The mythology? Gone. The Night King didn't fall in battle. He disintegrated because the script needed to move on. He wasn't defeated. He was written out. Compare that to villains like Sauron, who never even gets a body but looms over the story with meaning. Or the White Witch from Narnia. Hell, even Voldemort, a walking metaphor for fear, got a better death. The Night King had no final words, no explanation, no strategy. He was a boss fight without a cutscene. So yeah, the Night King didn't just lose. He didn't even try. And Game of Thrones didn't just waste a villain. They wasted the point.